I think food brings people together.
I feel that food can make or break your day.
I naturally cook with lots of love. I mean, it does not sound cliche.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Food shouldn't just be important to me, actually. I think food should be important to everyone.
My grandmother always used to say, so always keep the fridge full with food. Even though there's only like 3 to 4 of us in the family, we always have extra food so that when there's someone coming to the house, you have like something to cook up last minute.
Regardless of where you come from, what your socioeconomic level is, if you put people around a table, something needs to be on the table. A drink, a snack, a dish.
Insurance, yeah, insurance. Okay. So when's the date again? Schedule? Most likely.
I think we had a pipe dream when I was at his place to open a hostel. Because we love travelling, we wanted to bring the travellers to us as much as we like to travel.
The building that we were in on Arab Street is 5-story. From the roof you can see the business district, so you can see skyscrapers on one side, and on the other side you see all the heritage building.
It was really a people place where even the staff after work, they would stay behind.
Even when they finish their shift, they will just hang out and wait for their friends or colleagues to finish their shift before we go out for teh tarik or for supper. So I mean, we jokingly called it the black hole as it sucked people in.
For the ground floor, we couldn't run it as a hostel. So we took over the space, and that's where our whole F&B journey started.
I told them it's not in stock. So this one they'll give sambal sardine and butter chicken. But since Farhana's family is big, I decided to give them more. Our first customer was actually a non-Indian friend of ours. I think when I introduced the first shout out on Instagram saying that okay, we are ready to take orders and everything, so she quickly messaged me. Yeah, it was very special and I was very happy. Yeah, because to be honest, we least expected that to happen. And she didn't order just for herself. She ordered quite a huge serving for her colleagues, her office colleagues to try, and then for her family as well. I think that's one of the other things that we wanted was to introduce this to non-Indian friends or even non-Muslim friends. Yeah, non-Muslim friends. So when we see that it's successfully happening, I think that's really like something we're like, hey, you know, it's like, yes, we did it, you know, that kind of feeling.
Sweet dish, so we have to add in sugar and milk and all that. So you can take, I don't know which color do you want? Yellow.
My mom and I had been traveling for some time, and we had cooked in other people's homes in other countries. When we were in Uganda, we were visiting my mom's friends. They had been really, really sweet to us, hosting us, driving us around, and we didn't just feel like giving them a bottle of kaya. So I told my mom, like, why don't we cook? And she involved everybody in the house with so much ease and confidence. She was really in control, very confident, very knowledgeable, very good at teaching. And I said, okay, I think it's possible.
It sounded a bit far-fetched. I was thinking who would come to the house to cook something that we eat normally. Yeah, but it was a good thing. A good platform, can I say, to meet people of different background and listen to their views that I've never heard before or will have never have such an opportunity of meeting.
I think the fact that we let strangers into our house, people we may never know of before, we trust that they will respect the space and us, is something very different from going to a restaurant or delivering it to their house.
When I was searching for an apartment, the food I cooked was always used as an acceptable way to turn me down. One of the first questions landlords would always ask me is, do you cook? The first time I was asked this question, I excitedly shared that I love to cook. Cooking for myself and my loved ones seemed like such a natural thing to do. But when I answered her, her face immediately changed. I've heard many comments like, oh, you smell so nice. Because you cook, I thought you'd always smell like curry. Or tell me that I can't be accepted because Chinese people don't like the smell. They would ask me to not cook because the smell would enter the curtains or the smell would stick on the walls. They love the food, but they won't allow it when it comes to housing.
I think there are preconceived notions that people have about halal food in Singapore. If you talk about 10-15 years ago, when you talk about halal food, it's just going to be typically your Malay food and maybe Indian food. Yeah. And then only in the past half a decade, that you see different kinds of concepts like French food, Mexican food, Brazilian food. The non-halal industry has had time to mature. I wouldn't blame a person for thinking that the French restaurant that is not halal is far superior in quality as opposed to the non-halal, but I'm very confident that things are set to change in the very near future. Yeah.
Kelvin, can you check if Sufi is arriving soon? Oh, okay. Every Wednesday evening, about 6 p.m, me, Kelvin, and Sufi, we will meet at one of our houses. We will take turns, one week will be my house, the next week will be Kelvin's house, the next week will be Sufi's house, and then we will try to cook something.
There are some random remarks here and there, indirect comments like, wow, for a halal place, this pasta is really good. In fact, it's one of the best in Singapore. Yeah, but why must you qualify your remark with for a halal place? I know that people don't mean it, like not in a malicious way, but it's just the preconceived notion that halal food has some handicap.
Okay, so this one is 70.
This was 70. You put back
So you just want?
My mother is actually from North India. So when she came from North India to Singapore, she actually feed us the same thing that she ate in North India. All the spices that she used in all her dishes that she cooked is actually from scratch.
My mom has always been doing cooking, and she also has been doing food catering for past about 15 over years.
In that way, I think we both grew up eating a lot of Indian traditional food. I remembered my mother, when she came to Singapore, she actually made something with popiah skin but with minced beef inside. I actually tried on my own to do the different kind of flavors, and I fed my family members initially when I started, and everyone started liking it. It motivated me to actually try more. Garam masala, chili powder and tomato is the three most important for butter chicken. What I really use is Kashmiri chili powder.
Kashmiri chili powder is actually more to the North Indian flavor profile.
And that is something that brings out butter chicken flavor.
Thank you, Auntie. Bye-bye.
So now you can try and taste it. Oh, the cashew is very hot. I'll just put it here and I'll take the cashew.
Knowing your history and heritage helps you to have roots. When I was studying about Spicy Kitchen and reading more about food heritage, I had to look a lot into what made my family identity. My grandparents came from the southern part of India, close to Kerala. So what was available to them then was coconut milk, grated coconut, lots of seafood, certain kinds of lentils. The second element of what influenced the food in Spicy Kitchen is also religion. So my parents and grandparents were Muslims. In general, lots of meat was eaten, and there are certain festivals specific to this culture.
I mean, I feel so sad that I have not learned a lot of dishes from my mom. So now that I'm able to pass on some of that knowledge that I have, I'm actually very happy that those dishes that I have cooked with the guests, they can bring it home and they can share it. That means after me, the next generation will also cook those dishes. It will not be forgotten, yeah.
Personally, cooking forms my identity as an Indian woman. I've had landlords renting their apartment to me because I've lived in the UK for many years, and that fits their expectation of like an acceptable minority, or ask me to adjust my own expectations and refrain from cooking curry in the apartment. Why should I adjust when I've already adjusted my entire life? I've come across many agents who do feel bad, but then again, what can they do, right? The real estate system is the problem. I don't need much to change. The people's attitudes don't have to change, but the laws must change. I feel like landlords have a lot of laws in place, but tenants do not receive enough protection from the law. I was scared to voice out. If they truly saw a problem, they would have stepped in long ago.
I would say more than a tenant now, he has become like part of our family. He has been staying with us for almost 1 year, 9 months, ever since the first MCO in Malaysia. I think there was a lot of learning involved in this whole journey with him, to be honest. Things like how we take things for granted. When he had his first birthday with us, we know he was very upset because he couldn't celebrate it with his family, so we brought him out for a dinner. Yeah, and he has a 7-year-old daughter there. We video call almost every other day. And then she'll ask for me, over the video call. So I will be talking to her. My daughter talks to them. His wife talks to me.
Whoever is at home, we ensure that they eat. Yeah, so even if it's the tenant, we always invite him to join us for lunch, dinner or breakfast. And now it's like
Sundays,
he's daily at home.
Yeah, Sundays is like a very special day for us. Because Sunday morning, he's the one who fetches breakfast for the whole family. He knows what I like for breakfast.
Yeah.
He knows what my mom likes, what Hasina likes, or even for Zoya, he particularly goes to Jurong Point Rio to get mushroom soup for Zoya.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how close as a family we are.
Yeah.
My kitchen is an absolutely important space. I spend a lot of my free time experimenting with different kind of ingredients, different kind of food, different kind of techniques. It's where different types of conversation takes place. So I do deliberately sometimes like bring over my dining setting to the kitchen. Garlic that is ready, they have peeled, and like chopped garlics. With bones. What is the chemical acetone?
And the other one is the green one, small green one. Initially when we started, right, we thought that it would be just like a one-off thing or it won't take off or something like that.
I didn't think that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was a bit hesitant in the whole thing. But I'm happy that people are coming and I'm happy to share this joy.
She skipped lunch after gymming. Does that make sense to you? No. But you didn't feel like the table and the spread opens up the conversation to so many other dimensions. So we learn about them beyond just people who are interested in cooking, but maybe what they do, what they're interested in, their views about things. And it's a very nice space to discuss these things. Yeah.
Why can't start? This is a Southeast Asian breakfast. Because in Saudi Arabia where my brother lived, he said they eat like
This is the first time I feel like I'm home. I'm able to cook a lot of Indian food and also share them with my loved ones. I do feel like things are changing and will continue to change. I've seen a greater awareness of such incidents now, and I think that people are also more willing to speak up, so there's lesser tolerance towards discrimination. I have to be hopeful.